All right, guys, yesterday we debuted a new series here at The Jump. We're going to be taking a bunch of teams that are competing in Orlando and catching you up with where they are, since it's been so very, very long since you've seen them on the court. It's basically like when your favorite TV show comes back from hiatus. Last time we covered the Sixers, and today we're going to continue with the latest, the Houston Rockets. Giannis Antetokounmpo makes a joke on the air about, I want to take someone who can pass. No one wants to take James Harden. He's a dribbler.
But I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like, that takes no skill at all.
The Houston Rockets have been up and down all season.
They have centers, then they don't have centers. They're running pick and roll. Now they run no pick and roll.
The team that won championships with Hakeem Olajuwon is now officially the epicenter of small ball.
It's going to be potentially good for Harden. I don't know if they checked with P.J. Tucker. He's already really worn down and is going to get worn down more.
This is how they're taking the news. Beefy Harden was averaging 36. So I don't even know what skinny Harden is going to do. Micro ball is letting James Harden and Russell Westbrook be their best selves.
They are on to something.
If they can sustain an off James Harden night, maybe that means they can sustain enough to win in the playoffs.
You got two guys that are capable of giving you a 40-piece wing dinner. That's dangerous.
I believe it when we see it.
They have to prove to the basketball world that their style of play is going to work.
How confident are you that the path you're on now can lead to a title this year?
I'm very, very confident.
You do?
Extremely confident.
Paul, how do you think this long layoff will impact what we see on the court from James Harden come playoff time?
I think it's really going to benefit him greatly. I mean, you talk about a guy, like you said, you know, he's up there in usage rates, been up there for the last few years at the top, minutes per game. And you got to remember, he leads the league. He's in the top league leaders in free throws attempts every year, so he's taking a pounding each and every night. And so, you know, with this long layoff, with him getting his body fit, dropping the pounds, getting this rest, I see it really, really benefiting him in the long run, especially with his style of play.
Well, the first thing I want to say about James Harden is, you know, he has asthma. He's talked about this in the past, and asthma is a risk factor for COVID. So he has to be very diligent and very careful with this, and I'm sure he's very well aware of that. So the fact that he got in better shape and is still, going for this says a lot about his competitiveness. And the one thing I'll say about the Houston Rockets is that they constantly reinvent themselves. It's maybe the best thing you can say about their organization from top to bottom. They reinvented themselves midway through this last season. So seeing James Harden drop weight, especially since his role changed considerably from the start of the season to when we stopped, with Russell Westbrook taking more of a central role, we could see a different style of James Harden and a little bit different style even of their small ball. So they're one of the most fascinating teams, and this time off benefits them a lot because they were getting worn down. This will recharge them for a quick, fast run. And I'm definitely going to be watching them closely when we get to Orlando.
I mean, it's so interesting. I've always thought that James Harden's size, especially once he slid into that point guard position, it was an advantage for him, right? So I'm curious what a thinner guy, a guy who's easier to knock around, I'm interested to see how that goes for him, but there is no doubt that the rest is going to be the main factor. And for guys like him, guys like LeBron James, who maybe put their foot on the gas during the regular season, and we were like, well, we'll see if all this playing defense makes a difference come with your energy come playoff time. That's no longer a factor. And then, of course, on the other side, all that saving of energy that the Bucks did with Giannis Antetokounmpo, not really a factor right now anymore either. Everything has changed. Now, the Rockets are currently the 6th seed, but they have 8 games to play, and get this, they're only 2.5 games back of the 3rd seed. Beyond James Harden, you've got Russell Westbrook also having time to rest and get healthy during this league suspension. So, Brian, are the Rockets a dark horse to make a deep playoff run, considering everything we've just talked about?
Yeah, it's not just about the Rockets, Rachel. It's what we don't know about the teams around them in the West. You know, the Jazz have taken some hits here. Rudy Gobert said he's not fully recovered yet. Bojan Bogdanovic isn't coming back. So some of the teams in front of them may not be the same. And we also don't know how Nikola Jokic is going to come back and where they all might fall in the seeding. Let me tell you this. What I'm rooting for, I want to see the Rockets get their way to the number 4 seed, because I would love to see a second-round playoff series, Lakers, Rockets. I think that would be great basketball, very entertaining, and an example of why the West is going to be so hard to win.
I think they're one of the biggest wild cards, and I'll tell you why. I mean, when you got MVP caliber players and Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. There's only one team in the Western Conference that can say that, and that's the Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So when you got that type of talent on one team, regardless of your role players, if you got guys who can get hot on any given night, you know, they're such a wild card. And then their style of play, how they continue to reinvent themselves. This could be really beneficial to them, especially when there's no home court advantage. You know, they don't have to worry about the road, no crowds to be involved. You're going to use Russell Westbrook for your energy, a guy who's going to get them up every night, get them motivated. You know, usually when you have a home crowd or a road crowd who's going to cheer or boo you, you got a guy who can motivate guys there on the court each and every night. So, you know, it's a flip of the coin with the Rockets. They can lose to anybody, but they can beat anybody, too.
Well, Paul, look, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George might want to talk to you after the show about saying it's only the Lakers that have two big stars like that. And I think Daryl Morey is going to want to talk to our producers about even implying that they could be a dark horse to be late in the playoffs.
MVP in this league.
That's true. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.